On a Horizon.
Yes, is Ms. Gaytan available?
1 second. Finance, this is Lily.
Good morning, Lily. Is your last name is Gaytan? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure I'm right, speaking with the right person. What is your official title? I believe you're. I know you deal with finance, but I just want to get it right. What is your official title?
May I ask who's speaking? You
Oh,
haven't
I'm sorry.
identified yourself.
I'm sorry about that. My name is Andre Lagergren.
Okay.
Yes.
My last name is Gaitan.
Oh, Guy Don. That's how I pronounce it.
Yes, sir.
Guy Don. Okay. And so, what is your job title for the town of Horizon City?
Finance director.
Finance director. All right. The reason I'm calling this morning, and good morning, by the way, is because I was just wondering, have you and the town government, have you guys created any budget projections regarding the 2024 police union collective bargaining negotiations?
No, we have not. Mm-mm. We're still in the process of negotiating that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because on March 25th, during the meeting, I believe the lawyer, the city attorney, Ms. First, she had, I believe it's Mrs. First, she had mentioned that she was going to have some sort of discussion with the finance department about budget projections for, I believe it was at least one item. It might have been more than one item, but I remember in the meeting on March 25th that she had said that.
Right, but we haven't had those discussions yet. But you can call her and ask her for any additional information. I mean, she hasn't scheduled anything for us yet. Our next meeting is on the 29th with the union, so I'm sure we'll meet before that.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, because I had called Mr. Bustillos. It was a few days ago, sometime last week, and yeah, April 18th. I'm sorry, and he told me that they didn't have a set date yet for the upcoming meeting, but now you're telling me that it is going to be on April 29th?
Yes, that's the last I heard. I don't know if they've posted it already or not, but that's the last time I heard about that. That was the next scheduled meeting.
Yeah, at the last meeting on March 25th, they said it was going to be either April 29th or April 30th, but they hadn't decided yet. And I looked at the police department's website. I didn't see any notice posted for any meeting.
Right.
So I guess, but that's what you've heard, but it's not officially posted yet.
Right. It has to be posted within 72 hours of the meeting date. So I would check back on our website on Thursday. It should be posted there. Mm-hmm.
Right, of course. Okay. And so, but during because at this point we've had 4 meetings between the police union and the town government. So between these 4 meetings from February 28, 2024 through March 25th, 2024, the town government has not created any budget projections for any type of finance-related issues regarding the new union contract for the police department.
Not at this time. We're still working on our and it's kind of early for our budget. We usually don't work on our budget till June, July. So it's kind of early. So that's why we're taking our time to make sure that we can make a fair assessment of what we can afford towards the contract. So it's still at this point it's still a work in progress. So we're kind of taking our time on assessing the situation and figuring out how much the city can afford to put towards that.
I understand, but when you say you're still working on it, I mean, have there been any like, have you guys had any email correspondence or anything having discussions about the budget for this police union?
I think at this point you're probably asking more questions that you would probably want to request through an open records. I mean, I'm happy to answer, scheduling information and so forth, but you're asking specific information, and I think that's required to be answered through an open records request. So you can do that through the city clerk's office if you would like that information.
Right. No, that's always an option. I can always submit open records requests, but at the same time, I try to avoid all the paperwork. And if there's questions I can ask verbally to the government, when it's appropriate and, if it's practical, I try to make a phone call and just simply ask. And a lot of the times, whatever government that I'm dealing with, they'll be able to just give me an answer because the information is not, sensitive or protected in any way. And, so they just tell me. So that's the only reason I'm making this phone call.
Right. Which is why I've already told you we haven't had any meetings yet, and that we're taking our time to make those decisions at appropriate times. So I think I've
right, and this is where I'm trying to think of the right word here. I guess a concern of mine is that the lawyer, the city attorney, she said that she wants all of these issues dealing with the union deliberations between the union, the police union, and the town government. She said she wants it all done by May 26th. So if that's the case, then, and that they're trying to prepare a union contract in late May, early June of 2024, then, when exactly is there going to be these deliberations about the finances is my question, because there haven't been any so far that were at the 4 meetings that I went to.
Right. Yeah.
So my concern is that any issue about finances, when is that going to be discussed at a public meeting, and because obviously it has to be discussed at some point, and the clock is running up until May 26, 2024. So I'm just curious how this is going to get done.
Yeah. As I said, at this point we haven't scheduled a meeting. That doesn't mean the meeting's not going to happen between now and, when I was told the next scheduled meeting was the 29th. But at this time we don't have anything available, if you will. That was my next. That's on my agenda for today because nobody has approached me regarding that information, and we just recently got the appraised value, the initial appraised value. So we couldn't really do anything until we get our property values in place and get the first projection from the city regarding what they project as the new, appraised values are. So we just recently got that. So we really couldn't do anything until we got that, so that we could make an educated guess. Of course, that information can change between now and the time that the final appraised value is issued, but we can at least use that information to make a educated guess, if you will, on what the available revenues are going to be towards the police department, because as you know, they're not the only entity. I'm not the only entity, the only department that we're responsible for. Of course, there's also the administrative side and all our other obligations that we have. So we have to take all that into consideration when we discuss how much is appropriate or how much is available for that contract. So it was still early on when we started these contracts. We normally don't have them that early, but I think everybody wanted to get a good head start just so that we'd have time to fit it into everybody's schedule and make sure that we do the best we can for both parties. So I can't tell you anything more than that because that's the only information I got. So as far as the meeting with finance, we haven't had a meeting yet, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have it any time later this week. So we're kind of waiting on attorney to give us her schedule so that we can make that meeting happen.
And you're referring to a finance meeting regarding the police union collective bargaining contract.
Right, right.
All right, but that meeting that you're referring to, that future dated meeting, is that going to be a separate standalone meeting, or is with basically like a staff briefing, or is that going to be with the union representative and the police officers that attend?
Well, I imagine it's probably a staff meeting prior to the meeting with the union and the union representatives. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, have there previously been other staff meetings regarding finance or any other issue prior to any of these union deliberations?
No, we haven't had any. No.
Okay. And have you ever attended Texas Open Meetings Act training?
Have I personally? No, I have not.
Okay. All right. Yeah, those are all the questions I have for right now. I really appreciate you taking the time to take my call this morning.
Sure. No problem, sir. You have a good day.
All right. Yes, have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Goodbye.